What is up? Good morning, America, and welcome, friends, to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Brightside every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Brightside, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like eczema, acne, rosacea, psoriasis, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing and renewing and regenerating system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you on the Brightside. Our number is 855-660-4261. If you have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to contribute to the conversation, if you have questions about the longevity products or formulations, 855-660-4261 is your phone number on the Brightside. Try to get on board early so we can squeeze in as many calls as possible. If you want to purchase the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or the Biolumin Nightly Essence or any of the fine longevity products that you hear us talk about on the program, the ones I take and the ones I recommend, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask them about the BTT, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, now Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. Fruit and vegetable, multivitamin, mineral complex powder. You add a little bit to water and drink it down. It's a great source of the B complex and vitamin C, as well as fat-soluble vitamins and minerals and accessory nutrients like bioflavonoids and grapeseed extract and coenzyme Q10. It tastes awesome, and it's only $50 a canister. If you want to start a longevity business, this is your product, your flagship product for starting a longevity business, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And you can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can head over to brightsideben.com and take a look at our shopping cart or click on the Join the Team link if you so desire to start a longevity business for a one-time $10 fee. You can make some money selling longevity products and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Also want to remind you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. And I got a blog post coming up hopefully today. It should be up later today. A new blog post at pharmacistben.com. All right. We are talking about the meat, the matrix, the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix in the body. Last program we were talking about skin health and the skin's relationship or skin health's relationship to connective tissue and muscle tissue. And I want to continue a bit with this important distinction between what I'm calling the meat or the matrix and the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix and the covering, the coating that covers the whole thing. This is a very, very important distinction that we need to make because people selling us products are not making this distinction. People selling us skincare products especially imply that all you got to do is rub this stuff on the surface of your skin and your wrinkles will go away and your skin will look beautiful and youthful and vigorous and vital like it used to look. And it's not true because the epithelia, the surface, is different. It's distinct from the meat, the matrix, the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix, which is where wrinkles and fine lines appear. Skincare today, skincare products today, and I've been doing skincare for many years. Skincare products, skincare ingredients are largely about addressing the covering, the epithelia. Well, most of our skin health concerns are about the matrix, which is composed largely of muscle tissue, collagen, and sugars. To address skin aging, we've got to address the matrix, and for the most part, with some exceptions, this is done through diet and through nutrition. This is so important, you guys. wrinkles and fine lines and crow's feet. By the time we notice that our skin is starting to thin and we got fine lines and crow's feet and turkey neck. I talked about turkey neck on the last program, which is the ultimate manifestation of a connective tissue, muscle tissue breakdown. By the time we notice our turkey neck or our wrinkles or our fine lines, we have a matrix that's been dissolving for years, that's been dissolving for decades. And this simplistic idea that is promoted by predator skincare companies. I'm sorry to say that, but yes, they're predator skincare companies that you can rub this herb or oil or melon extract on your epithelia on the surface and change your connective tissue. This idea is rude, it's nasty, it's greedy, it's offensive. Even if it's a beautiful woman like Cindy Crawford spreading this stupidity and this dishonesty, it's not fair. It's flat out not fair. You can't rub something on the epithelia, with a couple of exceptions, and expect to get changes in the beef, in the meat, in the muscle, and the connective tissue, in the matrix. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about real ways that you can beef up the beef, if you will, that you can thicken the meat, make it more robust, the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix, using nutrition, using diet, using internal strategies, and a few topical strategies. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the idea of weight-bearing exercise for building up the matrix. This is a nutrition show. We talk about nutritional supplements. We talk about diet. But it's very important to understand, if we're going to build up this connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix, which makes up the vast majority of the body, and certainly the vast majority of our signs of aging or meat issues or muscle connective tissue issues, if we're going to really understand how to make ourselves healthy to reverse aging or prevent the aging process from kicking in, we got to talk a little bit about weight-bearing exercise for building up the matrix. On our last program, I talked about weightlifting. I talked about exercise, and I said all you need is a few minutes a day. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week. Remember, the rest period is when the tissue is recovering, so you need to exploit and leverage this rest period. All you need is 3 or 4 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week. I got a bunch of letters and Facebooks asking me to elaborate. So let me talk a couple of minutes about this idea of time-saving, quick, yet very effective workouts. Most of us don't have a lot of extra time. I know I don't have a lot of extra time in my day, and I want to make sure I'm getting my weight-bearing exercise in. I've been lifting weights and doing weight-bearing exercises now for over 30 years, and I don't have a lot of extra time in my day. I get up real early, go to bed late at night, and my day is packed, but I want to make sure that I get some weight-bearing exercise in. So you can do it in 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. And I want to talk a little bit about the key to a real effective yet rapid, fast exercise program, okay? So the key here, the most important thing to understand when it comes to weight-bearing exercise, when it comes to shortening your exercise, is the word intensity. It's all about intensity. You want to be intense. Take weightlifting, for example, and there's lots of different exercises, but we're going to use weightlifting for an example. When we do a particular weight-bearing exercise or weightlifting exercise, let's take an arm curl, for example. You all probably know what an arm curl is. You have your arm hanging down at your side, you have a weight in your hand, and you curl. You do kind of contract your bicep, and you do what's called a curl. All right? What we're really doing when we do a curl is we're contracting our bicep muscle. We're contracting the muscle. And this contraction of the muscle as the weight is being lifted puts a load or puts a stress on the muscle. And this contraction of the muscle as the weight is being lifted and the stress that's put on the muscle, the bicep specifically, creates a sense of resistance in the muscle. And if the stress is intense enough, the muscle will respond by growing. Okay, so far so good. We all understand that. But here's the key. The body is economical, and it doesn't really want to expend energy if it doesn't have to. So for most of us, when we're doing our curls, instead of actually putting a load on our muscle as we're contracting the muscle and lifting the weight, we're going to end up using momentum. This is called throwing the weight up. And if you go to the gym, you're going to see people who are doing their curls and they're just throwing their weight up. It doesn't have to be with a curl either. Sometimes people do it when they're doing sit-ups, when they're doing abdominal exercises. You'll see people throwing their body up and then going back down, throwing their body up and going back down again. This takes the load off the abdominal muscles or the bicep muscles and instead uses momentum, the throwing action, to accomplish the movement. If you're not putting a weight on the muscle, if you're not putting resistance on the muscle and you're using momentum, you're wasting your exercise. And this is why people end up doing 100 abdominal sit-ups and nothing happens. They don't get any benefit. Or they'll do 30 curls and nothing happens. They don't get any benefit because they're not exploiting the resistance. They're using momentum. Hang tight. We'll finish when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
You have all seen and heard about the elements of the periodic table. These elements are the building blocks of everything in the universe. You, my friends, are made from these elements. A shortage of any of these important trace elements can lead to disease. Go with the science and take the Lady Talk Health Challenge and get all 90 essential trace elements with a healthy start pack at LadyTalkLive.com or call 855-333-LADY. That's 855-333-5239.
Research shows it's not just what you put in your body that counts, it's what you put on it as well. Why not use an all-natural, healthy mineral-based makeup that actually benefits your skin? Once you experience the airiness and flawless coverage of Longevity mineral makeup, you will never use anything else. With Longevity, the perception of your complexion will be natural perfection. Animal-friendly mineral makeup at Mary Lou Health. That's MARILU Health.com or call 855-321-HEALTH.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Now you can get the same survival food U.S. Special Forces use on their toughest field missions. High-protein, high-energy, freeze-dried foods known as long-range patrol rations, or LRPs. Soldiers love LRP rations. They're lightweight and easy to carry. Easy to prepare by just adding water. Easy to enjoy because they taste great. Civilians love LRPs as a solution for emergency preparedness and recreational activities with limited storage space, such as hiking, climbing, sailing, or RV travel. Veteran-owned Freeze Dry Guy is your exclusive source for this 2013 U.S. military overrun. Long on nutrition, these delicious entrees have a long shelf life, lasting decades. But this rare opportunity, this limited supply, will not last long. You have to act now. Call 866-404-3663, 866-404-FOOD, or log on now to freezedryguy.com, freezedryguy.com.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
All right, we are back on the Bright Side. We will get to your calls in our next segment, and we do have a couple lines open for you at 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you on the Bright Side. If you have a success story you'd like to share, likewise, we want to hear from you. And if you have questions about the Longevity products, formulations, ingredients, skincare, whatever, 855-660-4261 is your number on the Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us recommend or advertise, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and pull down on the shopping cart. They're all up there at brightsideben.com, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. And just by way of reminder, I'm going to be doing a talk in Santa Cruz, California, my home away from home, Santa Cruz, California, on March the 6th. That's a Thursday night. So if you're in Santa Cruz or San Francisco or the Bay Area, I'd love to see you out there. I'm not sure where it's going to be, but keep listening to the Bright Side, and we'll, as soon as we figure out more where presentation will be, we'll let you know. That's March the 5th in Santa Cruz, California. Okay, so weight-bearing exercises, weightlifting. So many people want to start a weightlifting program, but they're intimidated, it takes too much time. I'm here to tell you it doesn't take a lot of time if you do it correctly. The key to a good, fast, rapid workout, effective workout, is intensity and not using momentum, exploiting all different angles in your muscle movement. As you're doing your curl, your arms are obviously changing angles. You're starting at with your arm hanging down, and then you curl upwards, and it goes into a 90-degree position, and then it goes up and up and up. And each one of these, if you take this muscle movement, you could divide it up into 100, 1,000 different parts. You can, if you take your muscle movement and go really, 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 really slow, if you take 30 seconds to do a curl, you're going to find that you can't even do 1 or 2 curls. If you're one of those people out there in the gym and you're doing a 50-pound dumbbell curl and you're doing 4, 5, or 10 reps with a 50-pound dumbbell, if you do your curls the correct way, where you maximize every single position in the curl movement, you're not even going to be able to use 5 pounds or 10 pounds. If you're doing abdominal exercises, crunches, or sit-ups, and you're doing 100 sit-ups or 50 sit-ups, and I see people do this all the time, guaranteed you're not doing those correctly. You should only be able to do 5 or 10 max abdominal crunches if you're doing them correctly. And you do them correctly by exploiting every single muscle movement position. And it doesn't have to be with curls, and it doesn't have to be with abdominals. You can do it just sitting up. If you're sitting down now, right, try this experiment. You're sitting down in a chair, right? And I'm going to do it here with you. Sit down in a chair and then gradually come up to a standing position. So most of us, when we're sitting down, we stand up. We do it real quickly, right? Go sitting down, stand up, sitting down, stand up, right? That doesn't require any intensity. But if you take 60 seconds to go from a sitting position to a standing position, go super, super slowly, you're going to start to feel your hamstrings shake, your glutes shake as this intensity and as this resistance is being piled on the lower part of your body. You're only going to be able to do 1 sitting to standing position, maybe 2 if you take 60 seconds to do them. And these are great. Just sitting to standing is a great glute workout, your butt, a great butt workout, a great hamstring workout. You may even get some quadriceps, some thighs out of the deal if you do it correctly, and it'll take you 60 seconds. And if you do it correctly, you maybe will be able to do 2 of them. That's a 2-minute workout, maybe a 3-minute workout, and you'll have the best hamstring, gluteus maximus butt workout that you probably ever had in your life. It'll take you 2 to 3 minutes. So this is especially true, by the way, on the upper part, the last part of the workout. That's where the resistance is the highest, on the last part of the workout. That's when it takes the most effort. Unfortunately, this is also the point where we tend to use the most momentum. So the trick to an efficient workout is to spend as much time in high resistance positions or high resistance muscle angles as possible. If you hold these high stress positions correctly and you do it super, super slowly, you're not going to be able to do more than a few repetitions, maybe 3 or 5. If you do more than 5 repetitions of a weight-bearing exercise, you're probably spending more time than you need to be able to exploit resistance for growing muscle. And this is true about all muscle workouts, whether it's your biceps, whether it's your butt, whether it's your legs, whatever. And as far as aerobic workouts, the same thing is true. For an aerobic workout, you want to do a high-intensity workout, a sprint. Most of us can't even sprint more than 2 or 3 minutes on a treadmill. 2 or 3 minutes, that's it, and you're done. It'll take you more time to put your gym clothes on, to walk to the gym or to drive to the gym or take a shower than it will be to do your workout. But you're going to get an incredible workout. For you guys who have a membership to the gym, next time you're in the gym, try this. Just do a super slow curl, super slow bench press. And also, by the way, both the upward and downward motions are important. The downward motion, the non-resistance motion, is called a negative, and they're both important. The positive movement and the negative movement are both opportunities to exploit resistance, and that's what we're doing here, guys. We're leveraging and exploiting the movement. We're taking advantage of the entire muscle movement. These are called, I call them micro contractions. Instead of doing one big contraction, you do 100, 1,000, 50, whatever, micro contractions. And the more micro contractions you do, the longer the particular repetition is going to take, and the better your workout is going to be. I hope I explained that well. If you have any questions about it, you can call me at 855-660-4261, or you can send me an email at ben@ksco.com. I'll be glad to explain further. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you about this. I hope that makes sense. You shouldn't have to avoid working out in the gym because you think it's going to take too long. And by the way, if you're one of those folks who says you get your workout by walking the dog or by taking a walk around the block, that ain't going to do it. Not if you're interested in building muscle, not if you're interested in building aerobic or lung or respiratory capacity. A walk around the block isn't going to do it because, remember, the key word is intensity. You need intensity. So if you're walking around the block and you think you're getting a workout, instead of walking around the block, try sprinting or walking super duper fast a quarter of a block or a third of a block, and you're going to get a much better workout than simply taking a walk around the block. Not that walking around the block is taking a walk around the block or a walk to the store isn't in your interest, but it's just not going to build muscle, and it's not going to increase respiratory capacity the way an intense workout will do. Keyword, intensity. All right, so I want to talk about the skin a little bit. I know we only got a couple minutes, and then we're going to take your phone calls here at 855-660-4261. As far as the skin goes, we've said that wrinkles and aging skin and thinning skin and youthful skin are largely about the meat, about the connective tissue, muscle tissue matrix, which means we can exercise that too. You know, muscle tissue and connective tissue are responsive to exercise. You build connective tissue, you build muscle tissue when you lift weights. Well, if muscle tissue and connective tissue make up the bulk of your skin, it should make sense that you should be able to exercise your skin too to prevent wrinkles and crow's feet and turkey neck and all the other visible signs, or most of the other visible signs of aging. So how do you exercise the skin? Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, you can literally do facial exercises, facial muscle exercises, and it's probably a good idea to do those. You can contract your mouth muscles. You can contract your eye muscles. You can open up your eyes really, really wide, and then you can close your eyes slowly and open them and close them. You can move your mouth muscles around. You know, one of the most powerful, maybe the most powerful muscle in your body is called your masseter muscle, and it's located right around your jaw area, and this muscle is the muscle that causes a lot of problems when it comes to stress in our lives, when it comes to insomnia in our lives, when it comes to excess stress hormones. And I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Curious about what comes next? Next is the feeling of vulnerability you get after you arrive home to discover your house has been ransacked by burglars. Fool the bad guys with a new improved fake TV. You asked for it, we listened, and we made our new fake TV 3 times brighter than our previous model. The brightness of our new fake TV is equivalent to a 40-inch TV. It simulates the color and motion of a real TV while you're away from home. And when burglars think someone is home watching television, they're likely to pass your house and move on to an easier target. The new, brighter Fake TV is only $39.95 and includes free shipping. Go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388. Or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are GCN.
We're back on the bright side. I was going to tell you about the masseter muscle. This is your jaw closure, your chewing muscle. And it's one of the biggest, if it's not the biggest muscle in the body. And a lot of stress is held in this masseter muscle. It runs from underneath your ear all along the jawline, and it's where you clench. If you have bruxism, which is bruxism is a chewing disorder, a grinding disorder. People grind their teeth at night. It's called bruxism, teeth grinding. People do it at night. And it has to do with the stress response. Simply by relaxing the masseter muscle, I know we're not talking about relaxation here, but it's kind of important. If you just relax that masseter muscle, you'll find yourself completely relaxing. This is how important working the muscles of the face is. And when it comes to anti-aging and aging, much of the aging of the face is due to these micro contractions that occur nonstop. When it comes to exercise, remember, it's the relaxation phase that's important for building muscle and building connective tissue, building the muscle tissue connective tissue matrix. And if you're in constant contraction, you're not going to be able to exploit that. Not only will you not be able to exploit that relaxation response, but you're actually going to be putting too much stress on the facial muscles, and this can lead to problems with breakdown in the muscle tissue, as well as when it comes to bruxism, as well as to enhancement of the stress response. Learning how to work with the muscles of the face, learning how to work with the masseter muscle, learning how to work with facial exercises, all of these can go a long way, not only towards helping reduce some of the visible signs of aging, but also with reducing the signs and the symptoms of stress, and that as well will have a beneficial effect on the aging process, helping improve the aging process anyway. All right, we'll continue talking about this tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about some topical strategies for taking care of the skin, facial skin. I know we've talked about it in the past, but we'll continue doing that. And then we'll talk about nutrition for the skin as well, and then we'll continue talking about building connective tissue, the connective tissue muscle tissue matrix, using peptides and using our amino acid the amino acid we've been talking about, cysteine, as well as the next amino acid that we're going to be talking about, which is glycine. Cysteine, glycine, and glutamine all compose glutathione, and that's really how we started this whole discussion a couple weeks ago, talking about glutathione, the body's most important anti-cancer disease-fighting peptide. Okie dokie, time to hit our phones. Our number is 855-660-4261. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network. Time to... let's see, take our first phone call today. Let's go to Brian in New Hampshire. What's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Thanks, Ben. I just wanted to start out by saying I've listened to you for over a year, and anybody else that's just tuning in for the first time, this guy knows what he's talking about. I've seen dramatic transformations among my close family members, my fiance, and people that are closest to me. Just following a simple supplement regimen has dramatic results when it comes to anti-aging.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that. That's awesome. What's going on today?
Well, I actually wanted to touch upon the anti-stress you were just talking about. I have a problem when it comes to breathing deeply. And for example, I'm at work right now. I'm just taking a break. And I have a problem where I'm sitting down in an office. I can't stretch. I can't do anything. So I feel like my cortisol levels go through the roof, and I can't do anything to control it.
How are you sleeping? Are you sleeping okay?
No, that's the thing. My diet's impeccable, but it causes me not to sleep at night. That's right.
Okay. Well, here's the deal, Brian, and, I've talked about this. We've touched upon this in the past, but I'm just going to say it real briefly, then we'll get into some ideas for you to use, some practical ideas that you can use right away. But the stress response is not only physical. The stress response has an emotional component, a mental component, and a spiritual component as well. Spiritual disconnection, poor thinking techniques, thinking the wrong thoughts, feelings, mental and emotional go together, kind of feelings and thoughts, and the spiritual ideas, the spiritual connection, those are all really important, and I don't talk about them enough. I probably should talk about them more, but this is a nutrition show, and I don't want to emphasize the mental and emotional and spiritual components too much, but they're important to recognize. Now, I can't help you with that. Those are things that you're going to have to work on your own. Feeling spiritually connected, working on how you're thinking, working on how you're feeling. From a purely physical standpoint, there's a lot of things that you can do to help relax, to help enhance or access this relaxation response that we've been talking about that balances the stress response. Now, first of all, you may have if you're having difficulties with deep breathing, and you can't do it even if you're trying to, you may have some muscle contractions that are permanent or semi-permanent that you've been doing for a long time. So you may want to do something called rolfing. Have you ever heard of rolfing? ROLF, rolfing?
No, can you touch base on that?
Rolfing is a very deep massage technique where scar tissue is actually broken up, and it can be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but after you're done with a rolfing procedure, and they usually give you about 10 sessions in a rolfing procedure. It's usually 10 sessions that focus on different parts of the body. It kind of hurts a little bit while they're doing it, but when you're done, you feel so amazing. Your entire body structure changes, and this might be something that you want to look into. As we grow up up, from the time we're infants to the time we're adults, as little tiny microscopic stresses occur in our life, we learn to contract our muscles. If you think about something crappy, something in your life that's going on right now, you'll notice that you do a little microscopic contraction. Think about a credit card bill, or your lousy relationship, if you have a lousy relationship, or your work, or whatever it is that you don't like in your life. You'll notice that you experience a tiny little microscopic contraction in your body. Now, multiply this by 1,000,000 times, because this is the amount of microscopic contractions that occur over the course of a lifetime, from the time we're a baby to the time we're an adult. We gradually learn to contract our muscles. And by the time we're 30 or 40 or 50, for most of us, we've got all of these little pockets of micro-contraction. Well, micro-contractions, these tiny little contractions that occur in our arms and in our jaw muscles, as I was talking about earlier, in our shoulders and our legs, do a couple of things. For one, they create pockets of what's called ischemia, pockets of lack of oxygen and pockets of lack of nutrition. And these little pockets of lack of oxygen, these little pockets of lack of nutrition ultimately create little pockets of death. And we end up with little pockets of dead tissue. What's even worse is the brain reads these micro-contractions as a sign that there's some kind of stress going on, and the brain sends a message to the adrenal glands that causes cortisol and stress hormones to be secreted, which of course leads to more microscopic contractions and more breathing problems. And over the course of time, we'll end up with problems that we can't address through our conscious will, because they're built into the hardware of our bodies. So what you got to do is you got to learn how to do something called progressive relaxation of your muscles, starting with your toes and working up to your scalp, literally your scalp. The scalp can be contracted too, and the forehead can be contracted too. And what you want to do with these progressive relaxation techniques is gradually force yourself to contract, force your toes to contract, and your feet to contract, and your ankles to contract, the muscles around your ankles to contract, and your calves, and work your way up. And then after every contraction, you do a relaxation. Contraction, relaxation, contraction, relaxation. And if you do it long enough, you do for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, maybe you do from toes to the top of your head 2 times or 3 times, you will notice that you'll experience a complete relaxation of the body. This, by the way, is great to do if you have insomnia and you can't sleep. It's great to do if you're under some kind of immediate stress, if you have a job interview or you're about to do a speech or whatever. This progressive relaxation technique is a wonderful way to tell the body that it's okay to relax. What happens is when you contract and then relax and contract and relax, the body gets the idea, well, hey, relaxation can follow contraction, and it will automatically, if you do it long enough and you do it often enough, it will automatically follow contraction with relaxation, and that's what you're looking for. Hang tight, Brian. I'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network. Our number 855-660-4261, and we'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs believes virtually all disease states can be backtracked to digestive problems.
Deficiencies in stomach acid can affect all downstream systems. Taking digestive enzymes can be amazingly helpful for dealing with deficiencies in stomach acid. Enzymes require low pH for activation. You can also use aloe vera juice, by the way. Sugars in aloe vera have a coating effect on the digestive system. Longevity has a cool product called Noni Plus, which is made from aloe and the noni fruit. It's tasty. It can also function to support digestive acidification of the stomach, and activation of digestive enzymes.
Take Pharmacist Ben's advice and support your digestive system by ordering Noni Plus from Longevity. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curve appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Gemstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Gemstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Now you can get the same survival food U.S. Special Forces use on their toughest field missions. High-protein, high-energy, freeze-dried foods known as long-range patrol rations or LRPs. Soldiers love LRP rations. They're lightweight and easy to carry. Easy to prepare by just adding water. Easy to enjoy because they taste great. Civilians love LRPs as a solution for emergency preparedness and recreational activities with limited storage space, such as hiking, climbing, sailing, or RV travel. Veteran-owned Freeze Dry Guy is your exclusive source for this 2013 U.S. military overrun. Long on nutrition, these delicious entrees have a long shelf life, lasting decades. But this rare opportunity, this limited supply, will not last long. You have to act now. Call 866-404-3663, 866-404-FOOD, or log on now to freezedryguy.com, freezedryguy.com.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
All right, we are back on the Brightside. Brian in New Hampshire, you there, my man?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so number one, rolfing and massage is a great, massage in general, even just a Swedish massage can be helpful. But rolfing is a great strategy. Focusing on or using progressive relaxation techniques is another trick that you could do. Focusing on the masseter muscle, the jaw muscle is another technique. All of these are an effort to tell the brain that everything is okay. When the brain reads that the muscles are relaxed, the brain will activate the parasympathetic and the relaxation nervous system. Conversely, when the brain reads that the muscles are contracted, it will activate the stress response. So you can hack into your brain, if you will, by changing how your muscles are working, by changing your muscle positions. Progressive relaxation can do it. Focusing on the masseter muscle can do it. Rolfing can do it. A hot bath can do it. Hot tub. It's impossible to be stressed out in a hot tub. You know, everybody loves a hot tub. Why? Because the hot tub activates the parasympathetic, the relaxation response. When the brain reads that the body is immersed in hot water, it thinks it's back in the womb. And it thinks everything is right in the world. So hot water, hot baths, hot showers, those are also a technique that you can do to hack into the brain by manipulating the physiology. Another thing you could do is smile. It's impossible to be stressed or depressed when you're smiling, if it's a real smile. Just the movement of the mouth, just the muscles that connect the lips and the mouth when they're turned upward will create a biochemical milieu that the brain will read as relaxation, or the brain will interpret as activation of the relaxation response. Same with holding your shoulders up and holding your chest out and keeping your stomach in. All of these are ways that you can manipulate your physiology to access your brain. I call it hacking into the brain. So got lots of strategies there, but please don't marginalize the importance or diminish the importance of the spiritual connection, the mental and emotional connection, as well as the physiologic connection. Of course, oxygenation is important, and nutrition is also important, but seeing as how you're having a problem doing the deep breathing, you may want to consider manipulating your physiology with all of these techniques. Okay?
Sure. Can I ask one more thing?
Of course you can.
Great. What about magnesium? I take magnesium.
Magnesium's awesome. It's totally awesome. It's one of the most important, I don't want to say the most important, but a case could be made that it is the most important, but it's certainly one of the most significant minerals, especially for the relaxation response. Calcium will cause contraction of the muscle. Calcium is maybe the body's most important mineral, but we do get a lot of calcium. Magnesium opposes calcium, and it will activate the relaxation response. It will help you, it'll help the adrenal glands. It'll help you process sugar. It's important for brain health. So many reasons why magnesium is important. Yes, indeed, I would be using magnesium supplements if I had any issues with relaxation, especially before bedtime. Look for magnesium glycinate, which of course is the form that you'll get in the OsteoMag from Longevity.
Yeah, that's the one I'm taking. I wanted to just ask magnesium threonate. It's also said it's specifically for the brain.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Magnesium threonate, PHR.
I know about threonate, but I didn't know there was a magnesium salt form. Yeah, threonine is related to GABA, which is a very important relaxation brain chemical. So if there is a magnesium threonate, where did you see that? I hadn't heard of that one.
I saw it by a supplement company called Doctor's Best.
Yeah, that's a clever one. I hadn't heard of that. Threonine or threonate is a brain chemical and can definitely help the magnesium work. So that's a cute little magnesium form. I got to look into that. Thanks for sharing.
All right, thanks so much.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the kind words too. Appreciate it. All right, Ken in Indiana, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the Brightside.
Brother Ben, you're truly a blessing. I really appreciate you. We love you here in Indiana. I just
Thank
got a
you.
couple questions here. The bone soup. Now, I've studied it all out. I know the benefits. I'm curious about the final product. I guess my question is, after you let that simmer, I'm assuming all the bones and everything's going to break down to totally liquid form when you just drink it, or is it you have to strain out whatever's left, and obviously you don't consume that?
It won't break down totally, but it'll break down a lot. In fact, you can simmer it a long, long time. The bone there's good stuff in the bone for sure, but what you're really looking for is the cartilage, the knobby stuff. The cartilage, that knobby stuff, can actually be used by your own body to make its own cartilage and its own knobby stuff. And in addition, it's got great immune-boosting properties. It's all polysaccharides and collagen and hyaluronic acid. All the stuff we've been talking about for building connective tissue is found in the knobby part of the chicken bone or whatever bone you're using. And that's the stuff that's going to dissolve in the soup. And you can tell it's dissolved because the liquid, the broth, will have a kind of thickness to it, a sort of bouncy quality to it. And that bouncy quality is all the sugars, the polysaccharides. They're not sweet sugars. They're long-chain sugars that are coming out of the cartilage. The bone itself isn't really going to dissolve. That's pretty hard stuff. And that doesn't dissolve in water, but the cartilage certainly will. And if you're using a whole chicken and not the carcass of the chicken, the meat will come off the bones, and it will make the protein in the meat a little bit more accessible for you as well. So you'll get the protein in the cartilage, but the bone itself isn't necessarily going to dissolve. Does that help, Ken?
So you have to strain out the bone. No, part.
You don't. Oh, yeah, I have to strain out the bones, yeah, but don't strain out anything else out. You want the whole thing. And by the way, if you put a little lemon juice or a little lime juice or a little apple cider vinegar, something acidic in there, that will help accelerate the dissolution of the cartilage. So making the liquid acidic is a good idea too.
Okay, my second question real quick. My wife is 50. She's not on any meds. 18 years ago, she had a hysterectomy, and she's in great health. All she has is hot flashes, and I'm just want optimal health. What can I do for someone that's had a hysterectomy 18 years ago, a 50-year-old woman that's not on meds?
It's a little tougher with a hysterectomy. The adrenal glands pick up the slack. When the female organs are removed, the adrenal glands pick up the slack, and the problem with that is the adrenal glands are also making youth and repair hormones. So in addition, now you put an added burden on the adrenal glands if you've had a hysterectomy, and after menopause you have an added burden on the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, which should be making your youth and repair hormones, your growth hormones, your happy hormones, are now off making stress hormones and picking up the slack from the hormones that were supposed to be made by the ovaries and the female reproductive system. Now she's in menopause now, so the most important thing that she can do is start to take it easy on the body, nurture and love the body. body, especially when it comes to, number one, digestive distress. That's the most important, is focusing on anything that causes digestive distress, because that'll burden the adrenals. And then not most important, but really important, is stabilizing the blood sugar, keeping the blood sugar stable. The high blood sugar, low blood sugar roller coaster, the hypoglycemic roller coaster, puts a major stress on the adrenal glands. That's what hot flashes really are, by the way. That's what menopausal symptoms really are. All the menopausal symptoms, whether you're talking anxiety or insomnia or hot flashes or wrinkles or drop in sexual libido, all of these are signs of a body in distress. So what we call hot flashes, or we call a menopause, the signs of menopause, are not routine. They don't not necessarily have to happen, but if they're happening to you, consider that your body is frying out. Your body is under major stress, and if it's a hot flash, that is a classic sign of a body in distress. So the most important thing she could do is control her food intake, number one, and even eating less food, even fasting. You'll notice if you're fasting, you're not going to have a hot flash, or it's going to be very unlikely that you have a hot flash if you're not eating. And you may also notice that your hot flashes are linked to specific foods. That's another thing for you to try. So changing eating behaviors, fasting, avoiding anything that spikes blood sugar is important. And then also pregnenolone, DHEA, progesterone. These are very important relaxation hormones that can help alleviate some of the symptoms associated with menopause, including hot flashes and the jitteriness and the anxiety. And by the way, you don't need to be going through menopause, or you don't need to have had a hysterectomy to benefit from pregnenolone or from progesterone cream or from DHEA. I particularly like pregnenolone, 100 milligrams a day, and I'm getting a lot of letters from folks who've enjoyed the benefits of pregnenolone. That's spelled Pregnenolone. If you have seizure disorders, if you have any kind of hyperactive stress response, menopausal symptoms, pregnenolone can be an awesome supplement. And then progesterone cream is great, but don't get the cheapo stuff if you're going to use progesterone cream. The cheapo stuff is the kind that you get in some drugstores. It's a 2% progesterone cream. Sometimes it's not even real progesterone. Go to a compounding pharmacist and ask them to make you a 5 or 10% progesterone cream. You do need a prescription for it. And try to use the progesterone that comes from yam. I find that to be a little bit more effective than the progesterone that's derived from soy, which is where most progesterone comes from.
When would you know menopause is over with?
When you start, the stress response is starting to diminish a little bit. You'll notice that your menopause is starting to go away. Unfortunately, some of the residual effects, like the thinning skin and the bone problems, those are always going to stay with you if you don't take some of these appropriate measures that we just talked about. But when the hot flashes and the anxiety and the jitteriness and all of the signs associated with a hyperactive sympathetic nervous system, a stress response, start to abate a little bit, then your menopause you're probably on the tail end of menopause. Okay, and also when your periods completely stop, then you're probably gone through most of your menopausal symptoms as well. That's all we have time for. Ken, thanks so much for the kind words. Appreciate it. And again, I apologize if I left you on hold. That's why I always say you got to get on the phones early, because the phone lines fill up quick, and I always end up leaving folks on hold. I apologize to you guys. Call back tomorrow. If you tell our call screener that we let you on hold, I'll try to get you first up. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about strategies for building connective and muscle tissue, and we'll talk a little bit about the skin as well. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
My name is Jessica Armand. I'm an activist, a GCN listener, and mother of 3. Our drinking water and food are filled with fluoride and other contaminants that harm our teeth and gums. To protect my family, I created My Magic Mud, an all-natural teeth whitening and strengthening remedy. My Magic Mud is a soft powder that polishes your teeth, reduces sensitivity, and removes harmful toxins from deep inside your mouth. You deserve a bright, healthy smile. Visit mymagicmud.com and get yours today. That's mymagicmud.com.
It's time to kick some ash, because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig, because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us.
us. We need assistance. Please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Belle Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.